Life is a race, and everyone wants to be the number one. The book If You're Not First, You're Last was written by Grant Cardone on June 1, 2010. This book emphasizes the significance of starting first and not settling for anything less.
Chapter number 1.
Your approach to the economic crisis determines whether it will be in your favor or not. The economy is clearly the driving force behind the success of many businesses, individuals, and families. But the problem is that people go bankrupt easily when the economy shakes. Throughout history, economic depression has always been the main reason for the downfall of small and large businesses. It is also during this period that the suicide rate is above normal. The only reason for all of this is that most people never prepare for an economic downturn. There are basically 4 responses that people give to economic depression, and only one of them guarantees real success. We would consider them one by one and see why they are or are not the best course of action if success is the goal. The 4 response categories include 1. Quitter. Response. 2. Old school. Response. 3. Answer. Cheerleader. And 4. Advance and conquer reactions. The advance and conquer method is the best, and the good news is that anyone can use it if they have enough knowledge.
Chapter number 2.
Reactivate your energy base. The next step after deciding to go ahead and conquer the market is to start building an audience for your products and services. It's hard to get an audience these days because the economy is terrible and people rarely buy anything. However, you can start with your own social circles. People tend to buy more from individuals or organizations they trust, especially when budget is tight. You want to take advantage of this spending habit. You do this by reconnecting with your power base, family, friends, colleagues, etc. The thing about the energy base is that they may not fall into your target market, but they will likely know someone who does. Have you ever heard the saying that you are only 4 people away from the President of the United States? The last thing you want to do when reconnecting to your energy base is to sound salesy. Do not do it. Instead, think of it as reconnecting with people you've lost touch with for a long time. A phone call or a face-to-face visit works better than emails. Try not to sell your product or service when calling or visiting in person. Just ask how they are doing. Ask about their family, work, etc. Most likely they will also ask you what you are doing at the moment. Answer them, but definitely don't market anything. Note that the essence of this phase is to restore the relationship.
Chapter number 3.
Expand your market through existing clients. Remember what we hinted at earlier. People you know will most likely know someone who needs your service. This is why maintaining good relationships in business is essential. Through existing ones, you can get more clients for your business. It's easier than you think because all you have to do is ask them. People will be willing to refer you to their circles if they have a great experience with you, and especially if they find your product useful. Simply ask them something along the lines of, "Sam, let me ask you, do you have any friends, family, or business associates who would have use or interest in the products and services I represent?" You will be amazed at how many leads you can get this way. If by chance the client says they don't know anyone, the author suggests you follow up your question with something like, "I see. If you knew someone, who could it be?" When your client knows a prospect, don't ask for their permission to contact the prospect. Ask them directly. For example, don't say, "Do you have her mobile number?" or "Can you give me her contact?" Instead, speak like this. "Great. What number can I reach him on? What is his email address, etc." Be sure to ask. Why did you think of him? You can't advertise your way through an economic downturn. You simply need to do a better job of creating and seeking out all possible contacts to do business with you. Grant Cardone.
Chapter number 4.
Do you know how to retain existing clients and even get them to market your brand without being asked? The secret is to amaze them with perfection. Take a moment to think. Has anyone given you a wow experience in the last 90 days? Most likely, your answer will be an emphatic no. and will a million other people. The reason is simple. Individuals and businesses easily become immersed in the pursuit of customers without even thinking about providing an exceptional experience for each client. This is the edge you want to explore and use to dominate your market. Do your best to give your clients an experience they will never forget. You will be amazed how they will market your brand free of cost if you do this and stick with it. Here's the shocker. Wowing your clients has little to do with making the best product or selling at the lowest price, but everything to do with service. Here is a real-life example for inspiration. The first is from the author's personal experience. At one point in his career as a salesman, he was selling a highly competitive product in a bad economy. One day, he was supposed to meet with a potential client. It was a hot season, and the sun was really doing its job. So when meeting a client, he offered to buy him a drink. He asked the client what he wanted to buy, and he replied, "Diet Coke." The author didn't just buy a Coke. He went to the store and came back with a can of Coke, an empty glass, and another filled with ice, and asked the client how he wanted to be served. The gesture stunned the client. He quickly closed the deal, and the man became a long-term client. You know, that's the way to dominate the market regardless of the size of your business. In fact, smaller businesses and independent professionals have a better chance of prevailing in dire economies because they can afford to give every customer exceptional treatment, as opposed to mass sales and advertising. When trying to impress customers, some people mistakenly believe that lowering the price of their product alone will make their audience prefer them over their competitors. This rarely works. The only time it has been proven to work is when the store in question is based on a huge amount of product in demand and small profit margins, something like the dollar store or Walmart. If your business is nothing like this, don't do it. Rather than reducing the price of your product, focus on adding value to it. Make it so valuable that your client can't resist coming back to you. Then learn how to communicate value so that your client sees themselves in your product. This is especially important because no matter how good the product is, the customer will only buy if they feel it can solve their problem or make them feel more confident. A good complementary product prompts a second purchase almost immediately after the first.
Chapter number 5.
Act hungry. Loosen restrictions on clients to get more market. If you put the above principles into practice, you will begin to notice some level of growth in your business. But it's important that you don't let it get into your head so much that you start to feel that you don't need more clients. Such a disposition of the heart is cancerous in a declining economy because anything can happen. While you celebrate your small victories, confirm to yourself that there is room for more and go for it. Don't let people feel that you don't need their business. It should be the exact opposite. Act hungry. Go to the market without hesitation. No matter how you consider your product, your clients are the most important thing in your business. Without them, you will be out of the market. Doing so may result in loss of client restrictions. You cannot afford to be extremely picky, especially if you are yet to achieve the business growth you desire.
Conclusion. The tactics in this book may seem over the top and out of proportion, but that is the level of action needed to survive and dominate, rather than succumb and be swallowed up in the winds of a declining economy. Tactics don't just work for contract economies, they will make you a leader in any economy if you pay careful attention to executing them rather than wringing your hands and complaining. Try it.